Sipping something, bumping big, hypnotized with her. Pray you get that job in time for her. That's only 4 hours away. Take a car, take a plane, baby, whichever is faster. Whichever one is in the hassle. Oh, damn, yeah, man. Oh, never knew, no, I never knew that you be a freak and a friend too. Yeah, you into everything I'm into. Oh, I got something that I could lend you. Oh, a peace of mind, baby. Come and get a peace of mind. Yeah. Say you gotta work from 3 to 9. Oh, I get you home by a decent time. Wait, fuck your bed, you can sleep in mine. Yeah, let's make it happen, girl, I need some time. Speaking of time, who stopped it? That's the feeling that I get when we lock lips. I got the weed at the crib and the liquor too. I fuck your soul, I release in your spiritual. I be your muse, bring your easel and pencils too. Here you go, you try and tease with them pictures. You could ride on me just like you ride the elliptical. She said I'm trying to keep it tight for my nigga. Girl, I like your last nigga, all I need is mental. You know I'll work you out, get you right with your physical. Always just another interlude. Asking all the questions, girl, you know I don't do interviews. It's pitiful that when I'm with them other bitches, I pretend it's you. Oh, you work at Kohl's, you in dental school. Wife and now you folding clothes, cooking dinner too. Young Tiller, girl, I'm known as Pen Griffey too. It's only right that I swing by and hit it too. First base, second base, third base. I'm trying to get you in your birthday. Oh, I know these other niggas thirsty, but please never entertain them, cause that would hurt me, you feel me? Yeah. I know you feel me. Oh, I know you feel me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa. Girl, I know you feel me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, so much to live for, too, baby. Whoa. Let's not rush into it now. Let's not rush into it. When we get to it, we can give it all that we got. Too lit for this shit right now. Too busy for this shit right now. Don't want to talk about this shit right now.
We on these panels, like on the Lapeef Let's Talk, they know they can't fuck with you. I knew they couldn't fuck with you when I first seen you, which is one of the reasons why I took you under my wing. I'm like, oh, she got it.
Hey, Lucki Charms. Welcome back to another live stream. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to become a Lucki Charm and be notified. In this live stream, we are going to get into some high-level conversations and more provoking thought discussions. Let's go.
Ah, the bar. A friend with weed is a friend indeed, but a friend with gold is the best, I'm told.
What's up, y'all? Y'all like my leprechaun? What's up? All right, thank you guys for coming. We are with another live conversation. I'm excited for this one because this person has been going viral, pissing y'all off, child. Okay, well, let's speak to the chat. A couple people are here. Sorry for the little delay, technical difficulties, what have you. Hi, Chaos. Shout out to you. What's up, Reese? Reese, I have to get you a wrench. You are here all the time. What's up, sir? And Pride. So we do have, I don't want you guys to keep waiting. I wish I had a better little applause, but I think I can do better. But I'm going to bring up guests. Are you ready? What's up, QP?
What's going on? Is my mic good? Can you hear me?
You sound wonderful. What do you want to say right now? Like, introduce yourself to the people over here who may not, be familiar with your channel. What got you started? What you do? Why are you that nigga? Go ahead.
What's going on, everybody? I'm the Q-Pill, certified relationship coach, behavioral scientist, book author, YouTuber, podcaster, anti-politically correct commentator. Got started studying women long time ago, being in relationships, hearing women say one thing that they want out of men while fucking the other thing that they apparently like in men, you know, the whole good guy versus the bad boy dilemma. That's what kind of got me started in psychology. Been studying psychology for the past decade. That is my field of work. I'm a member of the Association of Psychological Sciences as well. So yeah, it's pretty much what I do, just coaching clients, working with entertainers, rappers, lawyers, doctors, CEOs, people like that. You might have seen me on the whatever podcast, Hardly Initiated, Valuetainment. So just doing my rounds.
Okay, jam packed. The ladies is gonna be like, you know what?
I cook, I clean, I fuck, I shut up.
All right. So I know you did say you work with a lot of people. Would you say what is the gender of most of the people you work with that need relationship advice?
It's about split 50-50. It's about split 50-50.
Okay. What is the nationality? What's the race?
All kinds of races. All kinds. It's been Black Americans. I have a lot of European clients. I've had some clients in Africa, Australia, Asian, Pacific Islanders. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most common thing that men come to you for versus women?
The most common thing men come to me for is women who don't respect them. So they're having issues in their relationships with their women who aren't compliant. They have a lot of difficulty communicating. They stress their men out. You know, a lot of the guys that I work with, they work long hours. You know, they're doctors or they run their own businesses. So they work long hours. They come home. Women are in their ear nagging instead of, you know, providing them with peace, and they have to sit in their cars and decompress before they get in the house. So yeah, it's that's typically what it is with men. It's just men dealing with women who are headaches and who don't respect what they do and appreciate them for what they provide.
So being in that, how old are you?
I just turned 31 last month.
Okay, well I'm 32, so I was gonna be like, oh, but it don't make no sense. So
Yeah,
would you say that listening to them, does this turn you off from it? Because I know when I listen to married people, they don't really make it sound. They make it sound like it's a death sentence or slavery. Do you think that listening to all those problems kind of give you some hesitance when you are dating? Does it make it more difficult because you could read people a lot easier, or how do you?
Personally, it just, I mean, yes and no. The first thing it does is just lets me know that women are still behaving in a certain way. I mean, a lot of my clients are 50 plus. I have a lot of older men too. So that lets me know that it's not necessarily a generational thing that we're experiencing. It's just something that's prevalent in women who are free, who are sexually liberated, who can do their own thing. And then for me, I don't really personalize it because I'm much more adept at vetting women. So I wouldn't even commit to women who experience the issues that they experience because I know better. So knowing women and dealing with those kind of clients, I hate it for them, but it doesn't really affect me personally.
Okay. So I do want to say, since we're on that, you had a clip where you talked about when women said that men are no longer obsessed. So I am going to play this clip.
Aren't obsessed with women anymore, and it's weird. And my first thought was, what the fuck are we supposed to obsess over? We're supposed to obsess over these irrational feminist values and principles? Are we supposed to obsess over these all-time high levels of neuroticism, disagreeableness, selfishness, entitlement, egotistical thinking, narcissism, promiscuity? We're supposed to obsess over these all-time low levels of inhibition and integrity? We're supposed to be obsessing over this overt lascivious behavior constantly exhibited on social media, photos, videos that were once confined to your boyfriend's phones, now on display for the world to see, constantly exposing us and desensitizing us to the female body. We're supposed to be obsessing over these detrimental mentalities and pernicious attitudes and behaviors that aren't conducive to a healthy relationship? Why in the hell would we do that? We're not obsessing because the traits that we normally obsess over, you know, femininity, class, pleasant disposition, interdependent, emotionally stable, and mentally healthy, those traits have depleted significantly. Women aren't women anymore, and that's weird.
Well, tell us how you feel. Why don't you? So when you say women aren't women anymore, describe to me the type of woman that you see today and the one that you would deem a woman. Because I agree with you. I think there's a difference between women and the B word, right? But I want to hear from you. What would you say when you say they're not women anymore? They will argue. You know what I'm saying? So what would you say? makes them not women versus the women you think are women?
The values and the ideologies that they take on. They're essentially becoming men because, of course, they have to take care of themselves, but they're giving themselves credit for things that adults should be able to do, like the fact that they can wipe their own ass. They want the world to know that they can wipe their own ass. They pay their own bills. They do X, Y, Z. Essentially, the things that men were once counted on to provide for women, women can now acquire those things and provide those things for themselves. So they want an extra pat on the back for being able to do that. And what comes with that is an attitude of repugnance because they see themselves as, I guess, now in superior. And a lot of the times men want women who are still interdependent because that's what we're just naturally attracted to. So if you're sitting here telling me what you are, what you're about, what you've done for yourself, and I'm like, well, women have been doing that, men have been doing that, that's something that is expected of you as an adult, then what you're doing is, it sounds like you're essentially competing with me. And if you've accomplished X, Y, Z, and that's what you're telling me, that's why I should value you, when in reality, what I value is your ability to listen and our ability to work together, and how dutiful you are, and how much you are looking to respect me and appreciate me and remain loyal to me, and us to get along and have good conflict resolution skills. Then you're not telling me those things. You're telling me things that would essentially make you me. Like, how am I supposed to give you accolades for you being able to do the most simplistic shit? So when I say women aren't women anymore, I just mean women don't behave like women because they're put in situations to where they have to take care of themselves, and it makes them have these more masculine attitudes and these more obnoxious attitudes that you don't want to come home to.
So true. But okay, let's dig deeper because you are a psychologist. When you talk to these women and they're having issues, what are a common thing that they experience maybe from their past that keeps showing up on how they interact with men? Because I'm of the belief that sometimes, like me, I could say certain behaviors or things from when I started dating men versus now. You know what I'm saying? I gained a lot of wisdom, or just from having your feelings hurt. And I can't fathom just getting back into something. I need recovery time. You know what I'm saying? So even having female friends who are just like, that's because you don't have no niggas. You need a roster. You need to, then you start to be around these women, and you guys are experiencing the same type of experiences. I could look at the man that I dated versus the one that you dated. They don't look the same, but the outcomes are the same. So then you start to think, maybe I am doing it wrong. Maybe I should date multiple at a time and filter it out. And then it's kind of like, what I think is, why do we have to date? You know, why can't we be friends? And then from friendship, you know what I'm saying, you can determine that person. But the thing about it is that I've realized what's common in women is when they make relationships with men and they're looking for a friendship, men will play the long game, like they want to be your friend. So it's like there's no way to avoid being manipulated. So what is the common thing that you see with these women? Is it something that showed up in their past? Is it just bitterness, or something where they keep getting these results? Because race isn't the thing. We can't just say this is a Black woman thing. This is a woman thing in these times. You know what I'm saying? What would you say?
Well, the original question was, is this what I see in my clientele of women that I deal with? Like, what are they experiencing?
Like a common thing.
Yeah, most of the time it's if they're not married, because what happens when I coach married women is the number one problem is they don't feel like their husbands understand them. There's a lack of intimacy. There's a lack of empathy. Those are the things that married women struggle with. With the women who aren't married, who just looking to improve their dating experiences, they typically are dealing with men who have them in situationships. So they're dealing with men who they like and they want to be with, and those guys are basically bullshitting and not giving them what they want. That's what the women who aren't married struggle with, and that's in opposition with what the women who are married struggle with. So a lot of times I would never recommend dating multiple men. I think that's counterproductive. One, because you're not gonna adhere to actually dating multiple men. That's not something that you're going to be able to sustain, because what's going to happen is, even if you try to date multiple women, the average woman is going to get attached to a certain guy. If she's talking to 5 guys, one of those guys may appeal to her more than the other guys, and she's just going to naturally start investing more in that guy and naturally deviating away from the other guys, and they're going to wonder what's going on. She's not going to text them back as much. She's going to be talking to this guy, and then naturally her time is just going to become consumed by that guy. So it defeats the whole purpose. I mean, that's just something, I think that's a feminist thing. I think saying we should date multiple men because it's like men date multiple women. So now how do women want to combat that? They want to try to do the same thing. But a lot of times what we do and our differences in what we do comes down to our biological wiring. So men can date multiple women because men are equipped cognitively and emotionally to date multiple women. We're designed that way, whereas women, they're designed differently. They're designed to get attached once they find somebody that they like, which ultimately just undermines the whole idea of dating multiple men at once.
The reason why you can't even argue what you said, because if that wasn't the case, we wouldn't have this trend of teaching women on how to not be attached, to decenter. And I always said this is like programming us to like, you know, a person who's first bi-curious, right? It's like programming to get you to be okay with this new ideology, this new mindset, this new way of living lifestyle. I look at it the same way. If it's not natural, it's going to be something that has to program you to think something different. So it's natural, like you said, to get attached. But because I think men know we want the attachments, and our discernment is not that good. And once we like you, like you said, we manipulate ourselves, kind of. You know what I'm saying? In a sense. So then it turns into, y'all still have responsibility. I ain't gonna let y'all off the hook, y'all, because y'all be lying, or y'all like to say stuff around it, like, no, why you think that? I just be busy, like, you know. So it's just like, then we're sitting up there talking to our female friends like, girl, is he really busy, or, you know, is he bullshit, like, you know. And then you start seeing stuff like spiritual word, if he confusing you, then he don't like you. And then that may not have been the case, you know what I'm saying? So what would you say before I pull this up? Because it seems like a lot of women are saying they don't care about men. They're running to stuff like OnlyFans. They're just starting to, if they like me for the way I look, I'm just going to make money off of it. Do you think that women are starting to replace men or masculinity with their ability to actually make the same amount of money as y'all, or surpass y'all financially? So therefore it's going to get harder for y'all to get the type of feminine woman that y'all want?
Some of them. I don't think some of them. I say that because, for one, the average OnlyFans girl don't make that much money. The average OnlyFans chicks makes like $300, $400 a month. So that ain't replacing shit. That, yeah, if you look up how much the average OnlyFans girl makes, the average OnlyFans girl does not make that much. So essentially, she's just investing in something that's going to ultimately have a net negative. She's not going to make money enough to sustain herself, and she's going to decrease her value on the mating market. So no, overall, I don't. I do think there are women that use it to their advantage, and those women who make money, who make X amount of money, like 6 figures, some even 7 figures, those type of, the bad baby, whatever her name is. Those yeah, but you see, she's still pregnant. They can always find men who are in their niche and will accept them for what they do. So no, I don't think it's replacing men at all. I just think it's a way to try to earn money so that they can feel better about themselves and say, I don't need a man because I'm making this much money. I think it's a cop out.
Okay, let me pull this up. So we let me play this clip. Let me see. Do I like it like this? Kind of like this. This look cool. All right.
Realistic self-assessment of their own physical attractiveness, because if you think you're a 10, you're going to be chasing that dude who you think is a 10.
I don't chase.
Now, let me tell you the girl mind in me. When I first seen her in the red, she stood out amongst everybody. I said, oh, she is pretty. I said, oh, he gonna like her. That's what I first thought in here.
Why did you first think that? Why did you think that?
Because that just looked like your type. Like, she looked all sophisticated. Look at her top. like her, it's not a normal top. This means she care about fashion. It just look at the room, look at the table. The two people that look like they would understand. You know what I'm saying? It just look right. Y'all would just.
I ain't gonna lie. She was on me. She was on me after the show.
You didn't think she was pretty?
She was on me. Yeah, I thought she was pretty. She was interested in me when we got done, when the cameras was filming. Got done rolling. She came up to me, talked to me, was touching all on me and everything. She was
that sauce. I'm trying to tell you.
She was into me.
And then when men start talking like they don't care that you pretty, it make you want to know why you don't care that I'm not pretty. You know what I'm saying? The pretty. We was on this earlier. Someone in chat. The pretty privilege of it all. But let's just play.
Okay, however you want to put it, you're going to be going after these guys who are like really attractive, that might be more attractive than you, that want to fuck you but will never give you commitment.
I don't value attractiveness in a man. That's not in my top priority when choosing a partner.
That's fine.
And with me, I agree with everything Brian is saying. And for me, it runs a little bit more personal than that, because I am a certified relationship coach. So, and I have a huge clientele. So a lot of the women who come to me, these women come to me wondering why they aren't getting the dating outcomes that they want. And a lot of times it starts with them not being objective about their mate value, physical appearance, what they bring to the table, what they have to offer, who they are. And you have to remind them that these are the things that you woke up every day and told yourself in the mirror, daily affirmations. I'm a 10, I'm this, I'm going to manifest this. Let
me pause you. This the part, do you think that women are doing that by themselves, or that's how we were programmed to be raised? Like, you so pretty, you don't have to deal with this because you pretty. Are you to this? You know what I'm saying? Everything is more superficial. So do you think that we developed this mindset on our own, or it come from y'all?
No, it come from y'all. It come from women. Women uplift one another. Who told y'all to get in front? Who told y'all to tell yourselves that y'all are 10? That is women uplifting one another. That's what y'all tell each other. Y'all heartbroken and everything. Girl, you too good for him. Girl, you this. Girl, you that. All these videos on TikTok of these women who wake up and they doing incense around the fucking screen and yoga and affirmations. Say it with me. We are going to attract the energy of men we want today. Those kind, all that. Who do you see in the comment section? You see women in the comment section.
I see men talking about, yes, queen. Yes, queen. You a goddess, queen.
Yeah, men don't be doing that.
Rising, queen.
Now you have simps in these women comment sections who say things like that, but them women don't pay attention to the comments. They get that from the women that they have in their friend groups and their social circles, who uplift them and empower them and reinforce their ideas and reaffirm those positive beliefs. And they get that from other women. Y'all get that from other women.
Okay, so I don't completely disagree, but I don't think it started there. I think it starts from men. Even when you're younger, they'll say things like, you you're too pretty for this, or even just as an adult, or you too pretty to be talking to him. You're too this, and you could like him because of those things that you were saying. He may have more depth, but if the majority of men feel like he's at a low he's at a lower level, and you can get something higher because you're pretty and because you have ass and titties, or because you can get in these rooms because you look good enough, or because they would pay. They perpetuate this same ideology in us that would tell us, I don't have to even listen to you because I'm too pretty to be doing. I see men doing that, because if you think about it like this, if men wasn't sleeping with these women when they telling them this stuff, where would women get this confidence from? They can't get it if men were ignoring them.
No, I still think it's the friends, and I say this because most of this doesn't start until you hit puberty. Most of this doesn't start until you actually are involved with guys romantically, and most of the time it's either your friends are telling a girl that she's too good for him based on how much more attractive she is, or once she experienced heartbreak, that's when her friends console her and give her all these affirmations. When you say men are saying these things, like I said, is it the men that they're fucking, or is it the men that want to fuck them? It's the men that want to fuck them that say these things. It's not the men that they're fucking that are telling them these things. I can guarantee you it's not the men that they're fucking that are telling them these things.
Well, you're right. I'll yield. You're right. Okay, that's a good point. You're right.
Attract the energy that I put out. All of that is bullshit. All of that is bullshit because you live in a world to where someone has to pick you too. It's just not about what you believe about yourself. It's about the way the world sees you as well. And if you have the expectations of as a woman, I want to attract this type of guy. I think I'm on the level of this type of guy. And the reality is you're not. You're really going to end up heartbroken. I'm telling you, like, I deal with these women who are heartbroken. They're disappointed. They wanted to be wives. They wanted to be married. They wanted to have kids, not out of wedlock. They're single mothers. All types of women. They're just disappointed. They're heartbroken. And if you would have started being objective and being able to take some constructive criticism and being able to say, well, you know what? You're right. It took this long for me to come to the realization that I'm not the shit that I thought I was, or I hyped myself up to be, thinking that I was doing something, body positivity, or doing something for myself that was going to manifest what I wanted. I realized it didn't work like that, and now I'm here. And that's what I have to explain to them once they get there.
So that was the main part I wanted to kind of kick it off. So you tell me, a woman who is, let's say, 35. She's a pretty woman. Most men think that she's pretty. She makes $85,000 a year, right? Roughly. She wants a man who makes what she makes or more. She wants to be able to buy a house, or she's bought her own house, or she can buy her own house. She wants a man that can pretty much add to what she has or have more. Are you of the belief that just because she reached those levels in her life that it's based on her personality and other things that would deem her to be quote unquote high value or get that type of man? Or would you say that it's where you place yourself to be in those circles? Because let's look at these OnlyFans type of girls, the things that got them thinking this. And I'm just saying OnlyFans, it could be a lot of different things where they sell their sexuality or their appearance. Just look at social media, right? All I got to do, and I could tell you somebody I know personally who was a duck, okay? She married a guy in the military. He got her a BBL and some other work done. Once she came back and got all that done, she left him. She's probably at almost 98,000 followers on Instagram. Her OnlyFans is popping. She's always traveling everywhere. She looks a lot better, face done, all of this. I see that now she's able to get those men in real relationships versus before. You see what I'm saying? So if we have women seeing that, what are men like when you have a man like you looking like that? You look like some of the people that will talk to her. You get what I'm saying? So if I want somebody who look like Hugh Peel, what is he saying to where I feel like I can get somebody just like him? And that's what I was getting off of you sitting with those women. Like, you could be speaking the gospel, but if their experience still tells them that even I can get in the same room with these men to still date them, and when I was dusty and broke, I still got the same outcomes. Why can I? You know what I'm saying? Why not shoot for the stars? So, do you think that it's based on their personality that will get them those men, or is it strictly because you're hit the wall, or all these like red pill talking points that you may or may not subscribe to? So tell me what wraps your head around that.
It's personality essentially. The wall means nothing. The wall is propaganda. While women do lose their biological advantages in the sexual market as they age because of geriatric pregnancy and those things. Yeah, women get older, they don't look quite as good, but women can still find men who are attracted to them and who would give them a chance well beyond 30. I mean, that's easy for most women. But when you're talking about high quality guys, and if they're going to give you commitment comes down to personality. At the end of the day, if these OnlyFans women can get into a room with me or guys like me, those women are just going to essentially be seen as quick fucks and situationships. And that's what they misconstrue. They misconstrue a man showing them attention because of how they look, with that man wanting to actually have something long term with them. Those men don't want to have anything long term with them. If you come in a room with me and you're an OnlyFans chick, and it was an OnlyFans chick who was sitting at the table from that last clip, and I thought she was attractive, but I would never take her seriously. I could never take her seriously. And even when we got to the end and they asked who would date me, she was one of the ones who said she would date me, but I wouldn't date her. I would just hit it and be done. That's it. I gotta get off. Hey, you said, hey, come here, because I already know.
Why would you hit it in the first place?
Oh, I'm saying hypothetically, like I didn't actually act on it. Yeah, but I'm saying hypothetically, she's attractive enough for me to hit. So the physical appearance will get your foot in the door, but your personality and what you value will get that ring on your finger, if that's what the ultimate goal is. If our values don't align, if you don't have a personality to where, you know, you're more introverted, you're agreeable, you're low in neuroticism, you're highly conscientious, that makes you dutiful as a wife, you can't be with me. And a lot of men who are in these high places are highly desirable. They think the same exact way. And matter of fact, it's only two types. It's either the ones who are already married, or it's the ones who got big time, got desirable, and now don't want to deal with any of the women seriously or long term. So they're cool with just fucking OnlyFans models and carrying on situationships and navigating multiple women.
So do you want to be married? Do you see yourself getting married?
I do see myself getting married, but I see myself getting married only because I grew up in marriage. My grandparents have been married for 53 years. My mom is married. Both of my uncles are married. I have an incarcerated uncle. He's even married. He got remarried in prison. So I just come from a family of marriage, but I'm growing up in a different climate. I'm growing up to where I'm intelligent enough to know that the options that are potential wives are severely reduced. And that's why it's so difficult for me to even get in a relationship at this point. I was live yesterday on Instagram, and someone asked me why wasn't I in a relationship, and I said because it's extremely difficult for me to find a woman who I feel is worth committing to. That woman has to meet a lot of things, has to meet a lot of criteria for me to commit to. I can deal with you, I can hang out with you, we can fuck, we can do whatever, but if I don't feel that I'm comfortable enough giving you my heart, I have to feel safe with you having my heart. If I don't feel safe with you having my heart, you're not going to get commitment. And I just can't trust most women with my heart.
So give me 5 criteria you say you have.
5 criteria I say I have for women that I need to commit to.
For women that you would commit to or feel comfortable giving your heart to. Give me 5.
The first thing, hold up.
You fine.
I'm still here. My fault. Somebody was FaceTiming me. The first thing is and it's linked to my computer. The first thing is she has to be fine as hell. That's number 1. She has to be fine as hell. The second thing is the respect factor. I have to absolutely know that this woman respects me. Even through conflict, this woman can't be calling me types of bitches and talking down to me. I don't tolerate that at all. I mean, the worst thing a woman ever said to me was back when I was in college, and I didn't really know anything about vetting, but I was dating a girl, and we got into an argument, and she said, "Yo, you's a stupid ass nigga, yo." Like, that's the worst thing a woman has ever said.
Oh, she bugging.
Yeah, ever. She was from Newark, New Jersey. That's the worst thing a woman has ever said to me. And she still follows me to this day on Instagram. Actually, she still follows me. But the next thing would be loyalty. I have to know that you're going to be loyal no matter what. In the face of any kind of temptation, I have to know that you're going to be loyal. And that's an extension of respect. The next thing is you have to be enthusiastic and cooperative. So and vulnerable. I have to know how you feel about me. I have to know that you appreciate me. I have to know that you miss me. You want to talk to me. You want to see me. You want to please me. You want to do things with me. And you have to do that with enthusiasm. I have to sense that you really fuck with me. You really like me. You're really invested in me. You have a genuine desire for me. And then the cooperation and the communication. You have to, when we on bad terms, you should know how to apologize. You should know how to admit you was wrong, and that be the end of it. You should know how to listen. You should know when to be quiet. You should know you should know how to, yes, you should be empathetic. So it's a relationship. That's what I don't get. And women
I don't disagree with you. I'm
women always act like they're the experts in relationship, but these are the things that they struggle with tremendously. Like, we're supposed to be able to relate to one another. We're supposed to build intimacy.
I agree. Now let's just check the chat, right? About your response. So Pride said, first he said, the second point, wait, where is it at? The second point just knocked down 95% of women. Then you kept talking. He said the third point took it to 98. And Victim Olympics said, bye, dog.
I got three. They downstairs. I had a Rottweiler, Pomeranian.
So what would you say? So those are the main things that you would want, or you would say would be deemed a partner or a wife, right? Mm-hmm. What would you say? Because you mentioned about you wanting to be safe. What is the main thing that you said that you could do, or would you say is attribute when women are looking at you, because you never know who's watching? So let's say it's a young girl. She's like, oh, I want a husband. I fit all that. How could Q make me feel safe? And you say what? So yeah, I can make you feel safe off of, tell us. As a man, if she can give you these things, how would you express loyalty, or what does loyalty look like to you? And how could you make her feel safe? Because, I think that's the main thing with us. We want to feel safe, not just financially, but emotionally.
Emotionally, financially, spiritually. It's the standard. It's the standard protection and provision. That's already off rip. I'm paying all the bills, especially if I can. I'm paying all the bills. Nobody's going to do anything to you. You don't have to worry about me cheating. I've never cheated, so when I'm in a relationship, I'm 100% loyal. I'm 100% committed. That's the whole point. I'm always thinking about new ways to love my woman and build intimacy and make us laugh. So it's more so about the experience. The tangential stuff, that's easy. Finances, that's easy. Going places, buying things, all of that is easy. Do we enjoy being around each other? So what makes you enjoy being around me? My sense of humor, my creativity, my charisma, my confidence. We're always going to be laughing. I'm always going to find something for us to do. I'm always going to turn even the most seemingly boring days into something exciting that you would want to experience over and over again. So it's just about the level of emotional high that you can give a woman day in and day out, and essentially that's what it boils down to, is just can we enjoy each other? Because intimacy is probably, or lack of intimacy probably, boils down to being the number one underlying predictor of divorce and relationships breaking up, and women cheating when they don't feel understood, or they don't feel that you guys are close. So a lot of men, and that's what I preach to a lot of men too. A lot of men wonder why they have money and why they have things, and women still don't act right, or women still don't do the things that they do. Like I said, I deal with a lot of doctors and lawyers and rap. My biggest client is the rapper Hobson. I've worked with him several times. So those kind of guys will wonder, like, bro, what am I not doing? I have money? I got my own place. I'm this, I'm that. Why don't these women act the way that I want them to? And I said, because women still need that emotional experience. They still need that intimacy. They still need that closeness. And as a guy, you never want to stop being able to excite her and arouse her. So those are the things essentially that I value, because the tangential things are already taken care of. That's a no-brainer. So
shout out to the men with standards and know what they want. You stand out. You absolutely do. So I do want to get into this. When she said, why you don't want to sleep with me? You don't want my vagina. Like, girl, it was no pride. I'd have been, at least I can say with us, most of the people in our culture, if you turn us down, she's gonna be like, F you then. You know what I'm saying? How they get prideful. She was obvious, like she didn't care. She's like, why? But if you have to see it. Okay, let's hold on. Let me turn it up and start from the beginning.
Look, you're free to do porn, but I think you got to understand that my personal view is I don't think it's impossible for a girl who's been involved in that kind of industry to get a guy to get married. It's clear.
What if they change?
It's not about change. It's just like, that's your history.
You don't think I think a woman can become a better version of herself even if they went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What about women who've been like sex trafficked and stuff? They can be better women.
You can't compare that at all.
Yeah.
No, actually, that is deeply insulting.
That was so stupid. how can you compare a woman who is actively racking up bodies versus somebody who was kidnapped and sold to? I would have checked out at a conversation. I don't even know. Your face is better than mine. You got a poker face, because I'd have been like, where am I sitting?
I have a poker face for most of the shit they say because I already know it's gonna be stupid.
Low key, yeah.
No,
Can't even bring that up.
We're not going
but
there.
it's just like, don't judge people who've had a lot of sex. Some people, like, I didn't even know what I was getting into
Of
whenever
course,
I did porn.
well, actually, no. I will judge people who have had a lot of sex.
Okay.
In the same way that women judge men for a vast list of criteria when it
that's
comes
true.
to selecting them to potentially
true.
be a romantic partner, men are also allowed to have
No, you can.
preferences, standards, and boundaries.
But I'm not
It's
saying
just-
men versus women. Well, I'm saying I wouldn't judge
No,
someone.
but it's like there's always this like, oh,
But
why
you
do?
would though.
But it's always this. Hold on. It's always this thing with like, oh, why are men so judgmental about body count, or women who do this or who do that? Y'all are super fucking judgmental about a myriad of things that matter to you, like a guy's height, a guy's success, there's a guy's penis size. There's a million fucking things that y'all care about.
I guess that's valid.
And that's, for you, that's preferences. But if a man has a preference, that's discrimination. That's judgment. That's somehow wrong.
Okay.
So
He was cooking. But the thing is, when he said a preference, I never hear women say that men are wrong for a preference when it comes sexually, only when it has to do with appearance wise, like saying I want a big penis. Like I never heard men get, you know what I'm saying, feel like that's a bad thing. But then you could tell me as a man, like, do you think that women, is your experience that women get upset more when it comes to y'all picking us apart the way we look versus what we are attracted to sexually?
In my experience, do women get more upset when we mention something?
Like what would you say? Do they, when men express their preferences about physical things such as or like certain choices, like I don't want a single mother, I don't want a woman who's overweight, I don't want a woman, you know what I'm saying? Do you see women get more backlash for that versus if them saying I want women that ain't been around the block, even though I can't, no, I don't want her behavior, my dog, I don't want her behavior to exhibit that? Are they more mad at that or their, you know what I'm saying, their appearance?
Their physical appearance, because that's what they know men inherently value most. So that's going to be the thing that's going to be the thing intrinsically that they hold the nearest to who they are, to their identity, is what they believe about themselves physically. So it's definitely going to evoke more stress, and it's going to evoke more malice if you say something about how they look physically or something that's a physical characteristic that they lack, especially if it's coming from a guy that they know they would want to be with deep down inside. Like if a woman likes me and I don't know she likes me, but I say something about who I don't like or what I don't like in women, and she happens to fit that criteria, she'll be upset. She'll feel offended. She'll feel triggered. I'll find myself in an argument.
Yeah, I could see that too, because even us as women, if we speak from experiences or we speak from something that we did where we may fit that description, or like when men say, I don't want a single mother, I don't get offended, or a woman, you know what I'm saying? I don't get offended, but I feel like, because if I had a son and he didn't have no children, it's a lot of things, you know, I would understand. But then also it comes down to, I see relationships where women had a child and they're with men with no kids, and they actually would say the maturity of that woman, you know what I'm saying, is different than a woman without children. So, I mean, I think it just depends on how we present ourselves for the most part, because even with body count, there was a time where, I mean, just look at the era of old Hollywood days, even how the hoe had to carry herself. Now, if you look at that hoe from that time to here, it's just like night and day. But let me push play.
Anything that comes to the detriment of women when it comes to the dynamics between men and women, if a man has a preference, that's frowned upon.
And I think it's imperative to understand, sitting here listening to y'all have a very deontological view. What that means is y'all view shit as right or wrong, fair, unfair. And the reality is men have a value system. We have things that we want our women to do. We have things that we don't want them to do, and things that we're naturally attracted to. Our brains work in a way to where certain things trigger us. It triggers our disgust factor sexually. And the thought of a woman being ramrodded by a whole bunch of dudes, sucking a whole bunch of dicks, taking cum on the face, all kind of shit, that's not something that we take pride in knowing that our woman does. That's not something that
that's your personal opinion.
But what I'm saying,
it's not personal opinion.
It's not a personal opinion, because if I run a survey right now, I can find thousands of dudes who feel the same way, and I'll find more men who feel the way I feel than men who don't. So the majority
don't exist.
But that's not what he's saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
I hate the argument she making. If there's 2 people in the U.S., girl, what is that would accept you for this horrid behavior? What is the likely chances but that doesn't mean it's just you. I don't care if it's 98% of the men. There's still a 2%. Okay. And he's probably not playing for your team, or he old, or he married.
Mm-hmm.
And
women will make that argument. They're always appeal to the outlier. And it's funny because I say, well, if you appeal to the outlier, then for one, that proves the rule. And then number 2, they're outlier for a reason. So if something is an outlier within a phenomenon, then that means there's probably some abnormality going on with that person who's an outlier. So like you just said, they're probably, they could be gay, or it could be something in that small percentage of men to where she wouldn't even want those men. So it defeats the whole purpose of them. They defeat themselves when they make that argument, because if you're talking about the small percentage that applies to what you're saying, what's wrong with that percentage of men that would disqualify them on your behalf as well? They don't think about that. They just say, oh, it's these guys who like it. It's like
when majority makes up the rule. But
exactly.
The reason why it's stupid is because it just shows you how far people will go to die on that island. Like it's okay. Like I would just appreciate a woman who was just like, I know men don't like it, but I'm still gonna throw to your party. Like stand in your truth. Like it's just like a person who's trying to say, oh no, I know I have, a dress on. I know I have a deep voice, but I'm neither or. It's like, it's okay to just be what you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? You literally watch
you a hoe, be a hoe.
That's what, nobody's fighting or trying to convince you not to be one. But when you're talking to people like this, you can talk to them and see that they're fighting with that, because how it sound out loud. Your nature is talking to you. That shows spirit condemning you. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. That's not men. That is you trying to convince yourself and keep conditioning yourself something that's not normal to be normal. So now, when like you were saying, and I let it play, it was just like I would just ask her, girl, do you think we're trying to convert you or something? Like, it's okay. Just live in your truth.
What I'm saying is I'm painting a picture of what's normal and what's abnormal. Being a porn star is morally reprehensible. That's why you're getting all this criticism and judgment.
How are you shaking
and at the end of the day, at the end of the day, if you're going to do something, people are going to judge you for it. People are going to criticize you for it. So to think you should live in a world where you won't receive any criticism or judgment, you're not being realistic.
I never said I wouldn't receive criticism. Like, I would judge a man if he hasn't had enough sex.
But you're sitting here saying you're sitting here saying you're being very judgmental, and you kept.
I'm gonna let you cook. I'm sorry.
Highlighting that you're being very judgmental. You're being mean about it.
But I wouldn't be mean towards him. But you just I just wouldn't fuck him.
No, I'm talking about talking to the girls on the panel. You keep hinting at being judgmental. That tells me
because they are judgmental.
Exactly, but that's reality. That's what comes with the territory.
And I can't call them out on that.
Go ahead. You can, but that's not going to change it, because you're essentially doing what they're doing. Y'all just virtue signaling.
You know what I would have loved if you just had a little bit of like Devontae-ism, like the most blackest name when she said, so I can't call them out. No, you're a hoe. Hoes cannot call people out. They couldn't sit in front of the church. They couldn't do a lot of stuff. You are a hoe, lady. Nobody cares what you are saying, because you're not a woman who said, you know what, these are the mistakes. You're not speaking from what you've learned or wisdom. Like, Maya Angelou was a prostitute, but as she got older, you see the wisdom. No, you can't judge anybody. You're a hoe.
Y'all just virtual signaling back and forth.
You're literally just like narrating this whole podcast and what it's about.
Because you can't understand. You cannot seem to grasp it.
I understand.
You're doing nothing but virtue signaling back and forth. Oh, don't judge me. What about you? It's the same thing. You're engaging in the same thing. And what I'm saying is, anything that you choose to do, you have to deal with the consequences of your actions.
You're
not going to agree with everything.
But I think that you guys just have a fundamental opinion in what is
like a fundamentally different opinion in what is morally right and wrong than what I have in my life. And I feel like you guys personally attack me for the way that I live my life.
What are your thoughts so far? Just give me additional stuff, even though you saying your thoughts up there.
She's just stupid. I mean, she's not wrong, but she's not attacking it in the right way. Like you said, if she's going to own it, she just needs to own it. But we're trying to paint the picture of what she's doing and why what she's doing is found disgusting by the majority of the population. But because she knows that it's inherently wrong and it's bothering her, she's trying to rationalize. She's doing her best to rationalize why it's okay, and oh, that's where the outliers come in, and oh, but you're judging me. Don't judge me because I already internally judge myself most of the time. Every time somebody says something, you automatically trigger me, and I'm thinking about all of the things that I know to be true about what I do, but I don't like it. So I just want you guys to stop judging me because I already get on my own ass enough. That's basically what's going on.
And it was confusing to me because she's like, you guys operate from a certain moral, but you're talking about judgment. Are you a Christian? Like, girl, just worship child sacrifice. It's popular these days.
Yep.
Okay,
well,
but
there's a consensus. But we can move.
I don't think there's a consensus.
It doesn't matter. There is a consensus.
Guys, but not in the whole
no, there's a consensus in the whole world. There's a consensus.
Yes, there is. Just by saying you have a lot of sex, but then you're over here saying, "Oh, I'm not going to be with someone who doesn't have a lot of sex."
Yeah,
it's literally the same thing.
And there's a consensus.
I asked you how much your husband or your boyfriend makes because
how much do you make?
Hypocrite. I'm sorry.
How much do you make?
That's none of your business.
Then don't ask me.
I asked you how much does your husband make?
How much does your husband make?
Oh, my boyfriend makes enough. Trust me.
How much?
My boyfriend makes
I ain't gonna lie, she got her with that one. She got
definitely well over 6 figures. So,
but how much?
That's none of your business.
Then don't ask me.
Okay, but you're over here talking about how you are not judging anything. But if a man did not make 6 figures, you probably wouldn't be with him.
Yeah, that's correct. No, that is
correct. Thank you.
I never said that.
That's my point.
Yeah, that's correct. She's so slow.
Thank you.
Right.
And so you have a preference too.
I never said I didn't have a preference.
So why are you like living
I'm
in a
not going to be mean towards someone about my preference though.
That nobody is going to judge you. Like, do you not realize that being a porn star is...
I chose Lemonade because I found it to be extremely easy in choosing my policy and getting everything.
Not the normality today.
But do you realize that I judge you for the way that you speak to me?
Okay. But I can judge you for the way you're speaking to me too.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So what's your point?
My point is that I think fundamentally
Do you
guys...
know what fundamentally means?
Yes.
That was so mean.
And that was mean. That shows your character more than it shows mine.
Your
fundamentally, let me speak. Don't cut me off.
Nobody cut you off.
You did. Fundamentally, and you made fun of me. Fundamentally, I think that people on this panel have a different opinion on what morally correct means than me.
Okay, hold on. No, hold on. Let me come in really quick.
What'd you think real fast?
I was like, yo, why am I here? These hoes are retarded. They arguing back and forth. And I like Kelly. Kelly is the one who's sitting beside me. And she right, her boyfriend, he is getting some paper. Bro pulled up in a nice ass, I don't know what it was. It was a BMW or something, but he pulled up, dropped off. I was she right. But sitting there listening to Molly, and Molly is actually one of the top ranked porn stars.
Molly is her name. She looks like a Molly. That's perfect.
Like she's like actually one of the top ranked porn stars. Like I think she got an award for it. So
also talk to her nice. Okay.
Basically, so that's why she has so much pride in what she does, because in her world she's accomplished a lot. Like she's like top of what she does.
That is a big thing in that world, though. I heard like you get recognition, but you're also, you know how many dicks you had to get that award that say, you know what, congratulations, ho, you the top hoe with a year.
Yeah. But I was actually entertained. It's a girl fight. They say the stupidest shit.
She was low key getting her. She was defending her whole card all day.
She was.
Let's try to move away from the discussion of like it's veered a little bit away from dating.
She took off her panties.
Yes, there's a dispute about what's morally correct. However, if I can
wait, the girl on the right?
On the far right, she took off her panties right there. She just took off her panties. That's what she doing. She took her panties off. Yes.
Try to stick it to what we're I think the central thing about this conversation is our position is that if you are engaged in creating this kind of adult content, there are going to be men, perhaps a majority of men, that are going to find that unsuitable in a partner and would not pursue you for long-term serious relationship and or marriage. So we can have a discussion about, well, what's moral and what's not, but ultimately bringing it back to dating, men do not want to get involved with, generally speaking, I would say most men do not want to get involved with women who are engaged in sex work.
No, I agree, and I'm saying I don't want to get involved with those men either. So
cool. And then, but I do want to address one of the points you made, and you said that you judge men who are sexually inexperienced.
Yeah.
So men who are
Well, saying that like I wouldn't pick those men.
right, but do you think it's wrong for men to not want to date women who are promiscuous or who have a high body
No, it's
count,
duality.
or who engage? But I think the key difference, though, is, and I would say it's kind of the norm if women would not want to date a guy who's sexually experienced. However, when a guy doesn't want to date a woman who is sexually experienced, and proxy for promiscuity, proxy for high body count, proxy for doing adult content, that's somehow wrong. That we have a preference when it comes to something that you have that's in your control. However, women will disqualify men who can't get laid, who have difficulty developing relationships with women, which to some degree is outside of their control. So you said you don't like men who they lack sexual experience, but that's kind of out of their control to some degree. Whereas if you have a lot of sexual experience, that's 100% in your control. So I would argue it's less fair to judge a man based on that than to judge a woman based on her promiscuity or her body count.
I don't agree with that, because like I want the man who is like confident enough to go out and be sexually promiscuous and like learn about his body and learn what he likes and dislikes. I don't want to be the person that he like learns about himself through. I want to come together and like already know.
So you want a guy who's promiscuous, or
well,
has
yeah,
a
I want a guy
capacity?
that is like sexually there, that's not like sexually inadequate.
Okay.
Like I enjoy sex. I'm very horny, and like I want a man that like is the same way.
Okay.
What you thinking about?
You go first.
No, I'm asking you. What are you thinking about?
Okay, so I can understand when he said there's things. I don't agree that a man who can't get sex, it's not his fault. I think it definitely is his fault, because then you see what the men possess that can get sex, and you just possess those. It's just like a woman saying, I can't help it that I can't find a husband. After all, he has to ask me. You would say you can help it. You have to do the thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Do you really think that men?
No, you're right. Because do you know what the number one predictor of how much sex a man can get is?
No.
How extroverted he is.
Okay.
Yeah, a guy who's extrovert. I mean, assertiveness is a component of extroversion. If you approach women, the more women you approach, the more women you're likely going to get. And you learn how to flirt. You learn what to say, what not to say. You learn game. You get charisma. You only get it by talking to women. So you have to get out there. You have to put yourself on the field. You have to play the field. That's how men learn. Men who shoot score. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Simple cliche. But the guys who are too shy to approach women, those guys are not going to get as much sex. The men who approach more women, especially in person, they're going to end up essentially getting more women. It's a simple predictor. Now you could throw in that the guy has to be attractive, at least to the women that he's approaching. But yeah. But extroversion is the predominant predictor of if a man gets sex or not. That is the predictor of a man's body count.
So would you say he could help it then? Just be more extroverted.
Yeah, I don't agree with 100% of the things Brian say, but me and Brian not there to go back and forth.
No, I got where he was coming from, because it's like you're trying to have grace for the losers. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. But here's the popular one. I had to play aside to remove that one because I don't want to distract you.
Your type in women.
Fine,
But I like low key. I like introverted. I like feminine. I don't like girls who party or club or anything like that. I like girls who have some substance, some depth. They like to do things like we can kick it.
Fuck her?
Would I fuck her?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because I did porn.
Because you did porn. And
Even if it was like with a condom.
No.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, have you seen my vagina? You
No.
haven't? But like it's on Google. But like it's nice.
It's on Google.
That, but I wouldn't fuck you.
Why?
I just can't. It's just a turn on.
I can't tell you guys
I like
the
their
level of
reaction, by the
sexual
way.
disgust and the level of sexual repulsivity I experience just thinking about a woman who does sex work. I don't care how good she looks. That is negated by the fact that she gets plowed and penetrated and inseminated by other men on a daily. That's not attractive to me. No idea that it would be a big deal to all of these people who have been DMing me, following me, mentioning me, commending me on my ability to withstand this woman's attempts, which really isn't difficult for me to do because I get women in real life. I get women on.
Let's talk about that part. I get women in real life, spoken like a true player who's not looking for a wife, even though he said he is. So you told the girl, you said you want a woman with depth. Describe what depth is, because depth could be a person who's inclined spiritually. Depth could be a woman who reads, things like that. So what would be depth to you? Because that's not something we commonly hear men say.
Depth as in creativity. I used to be a hopeless romantic myself. You know, I'm the early 2000s, late 90s R&B type guy. The guy who so poetic, you know, just in a way that I can relate to, where she can express how she feels about me in a way that actually makes me go, "Oh, you love me, babe? That's crazy." Like, let me give you an example. Over there on my dresser, there's a drawer from my last jar from the last girlfriend that I was with. It is a jar full of 150 reasons why she loves me. That's depth.
I like that.
That's depth. That's what she gave me. That was one of the birthday gifts that she gave me on my birthday when we were in a relationship. And it says on the top, whenever you need whenever you feeling down or you feeling low and you just, you know, want to feel good or whatever, open this jar, only read one, and I promise you your day will be better. You know, so that's what I mean by depth. Those are the things that I experience with women, though. Those are the things women do for me. I've waken up to paragraphs of women confessing their feelings and love for me and how much they like me. I wake up to that stuff. You know, women have wrote me poems. They wrote me love letters. It's a love letter down there from a woman, you know, that we weren't on the best terms. And I told her that I was going to see other women. And she wrote me basically a going away letter about how much she still wants me to do well and how much she'll always appreciate me for the time she spent with me and stuff. That's what I mean by depth. I mean women who are open and vulnerable and expressive, and they give me that 90s love type vibe.
So they're able to be vulnerable. They still have a sense of naivety.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just keep it real. These women, especially these women who I'm thankful that we're able to talk to men and women, right? That's the value in it, because we couldn't even talk. But no regular woman, what's the likely chances of you meeting another woman that's willing to put 150 reasons in a jar as to why she loved you? Even Nivea only gave us 25, if you know R&B. So she gave you 150. Why did y'all break up? What you do?
I didn't do anything really. What it was we started having conflict. And social media got in the way. So this was a catalyst for it. One day we were laid up watching a movie at my crib, and I was on Instagram, and this girl that I follow, we followed each other. We've been following each other for like 5 years. And she had a turnaround pic where like she was showing her ass, but like I said, I know her personally. She was showing her ass, and we laying there, and I'm scrolling and I see it. I always like her stuff. She always liked my stuff. So I liked it. I'm not really even thinking about it. I just liked it because I'm used to liking her stuff. When I liked it, my girlfriend is like, "Why'd you just like that?" And I'm like, I wasn't really thinking about it.
Why you just like that?
Yeah, I'm like, I wasn't really thinking about it. She was like, you just like the picture of a girl showing her ass. And I'm like, I mean, it wasn't nothing I could say. Like, I'm like, damn, I did just like a picture of me liking a girl's ass. I'm like, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But that caused an argument out of this world. Like, out of this world.
I bet you it was your response that caused the argument. Let me tell you, sometimes
it could have been.
Sometimes with us as women, we're gonna react, right? And we will break up because your responses are making us feel like you don't care about how I feel. So even in the moment,
I know.
Like, I like to think LuckiMaree probably did that. I'm gonna throw it on the table. And if you like, oh well, shoot, if you feel like it, now you fighting with the fact that this man I really love, is he trying to act like he don't care that I'm around? So what you're looking for in that moment is for him to validate you above other, probably go unlike the picture, because it's also a thing with women that men I feel like don't consider. If they know you my man, you can't be liking bitches pictures, like, because then it's something between women and it's just like, girl, why the fuck was her man liking my pictures and shit? And he was liking the one where I was turned around. Yep, he watching. He in my stories watching. And then now we don't feel so safe. Now we need validation so you can let us know that you're not really shifted. So I get, you call, but it'd been like, you know what, babe? You right, whatever you told her, unlike the picture, and just get to it.
But hold up, I did. That wasn't good enough. But this is what it led to. It led to us almost getting into a physical altercation, right? So essentially because I was just going to remove myself from my room because she was too heated, and I was just going to cool off in the living room. I was going to go to the living room and cool off. She's blocking the door. She doesn't want me to leave. So I'm like, just let me out. I'm like, just stop. Like, you're doing too much. And at this point, I'm going to be honest. At this point, there was another girl who I had just recently, because I worked at the gym on my university, there was a little baddie who used to run the track. You know what I'm saying? And I had started talking to her. I wasn't cheating, but we was having conversation. I was talking to her. She worked at the gym. She was she worked the therapist desk downstairs. She was the receptionist downstairs, and I worked on the second floor. So we would have conversations during the day, and she's extremely attractive, dark-skinned, Jamaican Haitian. As a matter of fact, last time we talked, I was dating her. The last time we talked, I was dating her. Yeah. So that's when I first met her as well. So when we had that altercation, I'm like, you know what? I just want to be single anyway. So when she pushed me, I'm like, that's it. She pushed me. So when she pushed me, I said, see, you about to push me over and you don't realize how detrimental that is to our relationship. I say, you just put your hands on me. Now, what if I was the type of dude who just had the impulsive reaction to knock you the fuck out? Like, what if that was my impulsive reaction? So I would have caught a case because you tripping over a like or whatever. So I just asked her to leave. I said, you know what? I just want you to leave. We don't need to talk. You go cool off. I cool off. So then what happened was she texts me like 3 hours later saying, I think maybe we should spend some time apart. I think, we should essentially break up. And I responded, okay, cool. And left it at that. I literally went on about my business. The next day, you're not going to fight for me? You're not going to fight for me? You just going to let us break up? You just going to let us break up? You're not going to hit me up, this, that, and the third? And I was like, nah, you said you wanted to break up. So we broke up. So what happened was she showed up at my room again. She came to my apartment trying to get me back, trying to work things out. And I was like, no, you said you wanted to break up. And that's where we at with it, because I'm going to move on to this new little chocolate thing. I'm about to move on to this little chocolate thing that I've been talking to anyway. So no, I don't want to continue forward. You shouldn't have said you wanted to break up.
Let me just go through the men that's like, yeah, brother, I feel you. Let me tell you why there will always be a disconnect. Sometimes I've talked to you a lot. I think that you're very emotionally intelligent, right? But you're still a man. You can only understand us so much, just like you could be an understanding woman, but I'm still a woman. Mm-hmm. So I have to ask, Mr. Depth, if you already wanted to break up, first of all, her reaction like that, I want to believe that that's probably not the first time she reacted. Or
oh no, it's definitely not. But that is the first time that she pushed me.
She pushed you?
Yeah, she pushed me.
So what happened in that instance? Did you like, because this was her?
I'm saying that's the first time that she pushed me. That was the first time that she pushed me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I would say, because I don't know why y'all don't just, once y'all get the instinct that y'all don't want to be with us, why not leave? Because a girl who putting 150 reasons in a jar, you're not about to leave this house.
Well, I didn't want to leave her. Like I wasn't at the point to where I wanted to leave her. But I'm a man of principle. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I hadn't given up on us. I still very much loved her. Like I said, she was chilling. We was chilling we had just got finished fucking. Like it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I was all
tripping. That's why she tripping.
I was her first. I took her virginity. Yeah, I was her first. She was a 22-year-old virgin. I took her virginity. So
how tall are you? How tall are you? Somebody said you must be short.
5'10". No, but she's a basketball player as well. We were the same height. She's a D1 basketball player. She was 5'10". I was 5'10".
You can't be challenging no damn.
Yeah. She was 5'10" as well. We the same height. So yeah, she was the forward for our Division I women's team. She's a thick girl. But
okay, so she didn't know your worth, King.
Yeah, but I'm a guy of principle. So when she pushed me, that's one of my golden rules. Don't put your hands on me. The minute you put your hands on me, I can't deal with you, because I can't deal with a woman who's that impulsive to where it would make me become impulsive back. Like if you're gonna put your hands on me, I don't know how I'm gonna respond. So it's a safety precaution. It's being proactive. I can't deal with a woman who would put her hands on me, because I'm liable to put my hands on her back. And I don't subscribe to this. Men should never hit women. You know, I don't look on the internet and see women hit a man and the man hit her back. I'm like, bitch, you shouldn't have hit him. Like, I don't really hit women, but I will push you back. I will grip you up and tell you to calm the fuck down. I'm not going to lie about that. Like,
yeah, I'm not against that, because I look at it like, even with my nephew, and he just got to high school, so he's experienced certain stuff, and a lot of little girls be feeling they can just put their hands on him, and he's like, oh, just punching on him, and he's like, I don't want to hit a woman. Listen, women are different. Women, you know, so even now, but I completely understand. I'm not encouraging it, but definitely defend yourself. But this is what I do want to say. Do you think that because you have a lot of options or opportunities for these women to be options, and make it harder for you to commit or find a woman to commit? Because I wonder, in that situation, if you didn't know of that other girl, would you have made it work with that one? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, it does make it more difficult to commit when you have options. And my friends will tell you, like I was live with my other guy the other day, they will tell you, like, it's to the point where that camp at my university, I went to a school called Drexel. It's in Philadelphia. It's in the heart of Philadelphia. It's right near University of Pennsylvania. It's a D1 school. And my friends would even joke, they would come from around Philly. They from like the hoods in Philly. They would come and play basketball hoop with me. And any girl that they would look at, my best bro would say, y'all better talk to Q and make sure Q ain't fuck them. Like, that's the reputation I had, because that's the reputation I had.
Our beloved friend Sean, if you've ever just watched streams coming up, Sean is one of those people. He will tell y'all that all y'all wives is not loyal, because I think even I think a lot of times men would know which wives they can hit too. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a rough game, but to just pivot into that, this leads to this topic. I think that because if women want men that are attractive, that fit a certain stature, here we go. I know he was in the clouds. That's Sean to tell you, I done went through a lot of people's wives. So I want to know, do you think that women should be more open to polyamorous ways of relationship, such as, if you want to be in a relationship, let's take your scenario. You had that one girl, she loved you, right? If she was open to be in a relationship where you would be with her and you would also invite the other girl, how do you feel about that? Do you think women who want those certain men that just aren't enough to go around, they might as well get open to the idea of sharing, since you're gonna low-key be sharing anyway?
Yeah, I'll say this doesn't apply to most men at all. I will say this applies to a very, very minuscule amount of men. And the reason I say that is because there's a certain level of credentials or qualifications you have to have in terms of your desirability, your masculinity, finances, if you want to get married, to even take on more than one woman. Women are extremely difficult to date. One woman is enough for most men. One woman is enough for me. But if I'm not in a place to where I want to commit to just one woman, then I will say you have to be open to sharing me. And I've even proposed this to the last couple girls that I've dated. You know, I was dating 3 women at one time, and they knew, and they would say they know their place. So it's one of those things where, as a guy, you have to be mentally and emotionally equipped to do, which I don't think most men are. And as a woman, it's a system that you have to buy into. But if you have a guy who's genuine enough to where he's going to give you your time, he's going to invest in you, he's going to reaffirm the role you play in his life, he's going to let you know that you still are important, you're special in your own way, and you guys have this dynamic, this is the type time you were on, don't worry about the other women. If women buy into that, then yeah, I absolutely think if the women who can buy into that, if they want guys who are highly desirable, who aren't willing to commit to one woman, then they should be open to the idea of it. They don't have to be, but you should be, because essentially he's going to do whatever he's going to do anyway. So it's better for him to be open and honest and direct and transparent with you about it up front, and then give you the decision of if you want to decide to deal with that man or not. And if you decide, then you can't be ruminating on the fact that he has other women. You can't be questioning him and all of this. You already know that he's going to do things with other women. You already know that he's dating this other shorty or whatever. So yeah, it's something that takes a lot of mental training if a woman is going to for a woman.
Heavy on the mental training.
Yeah,
because we want monogamy. But let's see if I think that these are the boundaries that women could get with, and I'm going to play the video.
Hey babe, so I want us to be polyamorous. I want you to have another girlfriend, but first we have to start with some boundaries, okay? Okay, so number 1, don't sleep with her without me. Number 2, no kissing. Number 3, don't touch her without me. Number 4, don't smell, taste, hear any of the 5 senses, her without me. Don't fall in love with her. Don't even fall too much in like with her. Oh, and this one is important. This one's really important. Don't like any small detail about her more than you like it about me. And you can get freaky with her every 3rd Friday of the month, as long as it is signed, sanctioned, and supervised by me. Okay? See, yeah, I like this. I'm really excited for this new chapter in our lives. Good talk.
I'm done.
Shout out to Rhea. We love Rhea. What do you think of those boundaries before I add?
No. The fuck?
What?
No.
We gave you a day. See, this is the thing. Why can't y'all have it? I think that more women would be open to this type of thing that you're saying if y'all had some wiggle room. Y'all would say, you got to be like this, you got to be like this, you got to do this, you got to do this. And I want other women, you got to accept it. What get in? Because it's like at the end of the day, I gotta pick up your drawers. I gotta deal with your attitude too. Most men that's requiring that or built themselves up to that status to even ask for this, not really bending as much, I don't think. And especially if you want a certain age range, I believe that most people at a certain age get set in their ways, and it's pretty much that's who he is, who he gonna be. So if a woman was open to you every now and then stepping out with the same type of woman, to also, you got to think she don't want nothing back, so let's test this person, whatever. Why wouldn't you be okay with that? Or why would you see most men wouldn't be okay with these type of boundaries versus I should be able to just go out and do what I want, and I'm taking care of you, so you should be at home.
Well, it's not even that. I don't need a woman to give me boundaries. I can create my own boundaries. I got 3. I won't stay the night. I'll always use a condom, and I'll get tested. I'll get tested regularly. I don't need a woman to tell me what my boundaries are.
What if you're over there every other night?
Oh, okay. Well, we can.
Remember that's
we can adjust. We can adjust for that. Let's say I see her once or twice a week, and I don't stay over. That's just hypothetical. But the point is, a woman is, if I tell a woman that I'm going to deal with other women and she chooses to continue to deal with me, you're not then going to put restrictions and limitations on what I can do. I can do that myself. I don't need you to do that for me.
So
because hold up. There's still a level of respect and love I have for you too, to where I don't even want certain things to.
That's what I was looking for.
Yes, there's a certain level of love and respect I still have for you beyond just my dick, that I wouldn't even want to do that to you. I would not want to get another woman pregnant on you. I would not want to give you an STI. I would not want to feel like that woman is on your level. I would not want you to feel like these are the case. So like I said, I can monitor my own shit. I don't need a woman to put boundaries in place for me.
So ideally, would you look for a monogamous committed relationship, or one that is more that gives you more wiggle room for those opportunities where you would want to release with another partner or have a girlfriend on the side?
No, I'm monogamous. I'm 100% monogamous. Once I get in a relationship, I'm monogamous. I've always been that way. This is what I will do when we're not official. I'm going to date other women as long as we're not official. If you make it to the commitment point, baby girl, you've earned that. You don't have to worry. You've made it through the obstacle course. I just had the woman that tried to FaceTime me, it's a chick that tried to FaceTime me. She bad as shit. I mean, she done had Kawhi Leonard try to talk to her, Genuine try to talk to her, this, that, and the third. But she told me, she was like, you have the most stringent process to get through to you. And she was like, I feel like any woman that gets through that, like, I don't think most women can get through what you require of women before you even commit to them, because I had been talking to her for the past 2-3 months. But she knows, like, I date who I want. I do what I want, and I'm not committed. And I'm extremely difficult to earn commitment out of. It's just the way it is.
Wow. But I think you just disappointed most of the ladies. But we do have a caller. We're going to take callers one by one.
Okay.
We'll ask you questions. You can plug yourself in. I'm going to bring up Derek first. What's up, Derek?
Hey, y'all. Good evening. What's going on?
Good. And I can see you in the back, so you don't have to come up, you guys, especially if I see you in the back. But go ahead. What do you want to add? Ask,
No, I think it's a good conversation y'all having. Good topic. I just want the Q pill. Hey, I know this can be difficult. It's like even kind of looking at these clips and like dealing with this. It can be draining. So it's like I guess keep it up the best you can. I just know in everyday dealings it can be very difficult. So I think you know, especially be as young you are, I think you're doing a good job, and hopefully you can get through and they're actually listening and you know, taking heed to the word, I hope. But you know, but no, I'm just it's good to hear. And that was pretty much it. You were impressed. The past couple years. Go ahead, Lucky. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying you're impressed. I like that you gave him encouragement because he is young, and well, you know, you young. So even though I'm acting like
both of y'all. You said you're 31, right?
Yeah, I just turned 31.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 45. What
advice would you say? Let me ask you this, because what advice would you say for young men who are in his situation, got a good understanding, know what they want, very assertive? Would you encourage them to be open-minded to the women here in America, or would you encourage, because a lot of men like him who fit that description, they're encouraging men to outsource, if that makes sense. So what would you say on him, like advice to him? You know what I'm saying? Dating younger women or just anything like that. Would you say?
You asking me or him?
No, I'm asking Derek, just to, okay. Or just young men like you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think it's very important to kind of stay focused on what you're doing. I think once you're not just intimate relationships, in anything that you do, if you're a trailblazer, if you produce, if you're charismatic, that's going to draw people to you. Unfortunately, that draws a lot of times everybody to you. That's good and bad. So the key thing is knowing who the bad is and trying to filter that out. Unfortunately, we do live in the West. It may be a little bit more difficult to find that caliber of woman that you would need or would like, because in masses, a lot of the women kind of look at the same stuff and kind of have the same mindset. So that could be a challenge. Again, I always tell young cats, definitely have an abundance mindset. I think everybody should have that, but definitely as it relates to that in that regard, young men and black men, definitely experience different things, get out your city, get out your state, travel, learn about different things. So when that time comes and you do meet the right woman, you can actually, be well-rounded. You can teach her things. I look at relationships as a service. You're providing a service to a person. So a lot of times people, it's like they get involved in relationships. And I was married years ago too for a long time. I don't think people understand, men and women, but I'm speaking from a man's point of view. Like, people don't understand how serious the job is. People, I think, just think it's cute to say, hey, that's hubby or that's wifey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really don't understand how, you making a pledge before God that I'm going to be accountable for this person's happiness, whether that's right or wrong. But essentially, that's what you're doing until you die. That's the agreement that you said you're going to do before God. And I think if people understood how serious it was, the vetting process would be better and people would choose better. So essentially, in short, I know I kind of rambled on, but in short, just, learn as much as you can. I have a son that's 24 and I tell him the same thing. Hey, work hard, focus on yourself, better yourself. So when that person comes to you, then you have something to provide and present to them. And also, like I was saying, just get out and experience some things so you know what it is that you like when it comes to you, and you have a higher standard. You'll be able to dismiss the BS easier and quicker.
Well, shout out to you. Thank you for that. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, good show. I'm gonna finish looking at the rest of these games. I'm gonna just listen to y'all in the background. I called a while before, I think, on your show.
Yeah,
a while ago,
and
but,
it's some stuff. I'm kind of peeking back out to get good conversation, but I always like when you call.
Yeah, but that's all I was saying. Just again, the Q pill, just keep it up. And again, I know sometimes these ladies can be difficult, but if this is what you decide to do, just know that in the back of your mind, it's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be a lot. So just as long as you know that.
I'm well aware, brother. I'm well aware.
Yeah,
I loaded your thing so they could show you on it wouldn't load. So when you were on the shade room. So yeah, he be getting his acknowledgement shot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna bring you down. I'm gonna bring up someone else.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
All right, Derek. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, let's go to the next. What's up, Hustler? Can you hear me?
What's good, Lucky?
What's up, H&M? What you want to add to it? I know this clip you was like, what?
Yeah, what's good? How are you doing? How you doing, my Lucki Charm that can do me no harm to get wild like old McDonald's farm?
What you want to add to the conversation, or what did you think about the clips, the people on the podcast? Just your thoughts.
That last clip, oh my God. So basically, I guess she wants an open relationship, but she want to have her cake and eat it too, as y'all would say. So I can see other women, but I can't do nothing sexual with them. What kind of stupid ass shit is that? Seriously. First of all, that sounds dumb as hell to say. And second of all, how you gonna know what the hell I'm doing behind closed doors? If I'm in a relationship with Lucki, for example, and I want to see other women, I'm gonna do that behind closed doors. I'm gonna go to the bar, pick up a chick, get a motel room, and you won't have to see or hear anything. Reminds me of all them stories I hear. What you say? I didn't hear you.
I said, tell us more how we be getting cheated on. No, I'm kidding.
Reminds me of all them stories I hear about married women wanting open marriages and stuff. Then they get mad when they blow up in their damn faces. Well, you want an open marriage. It's not his fault that he found the other chick more desirable than you are. That's what they're worried about. At least that's the message I'm getting. You worried that your husband gonna find somebody better than you, and you think just because you got options with other men more. Go ahead, Lucky.
Because I see y'all not into the same thing. Would you say that for women to get, or things like that, when we hear stuff like that, if we're also allowing men to exercise these options just in parameters, what is wrong with y'all abiding by parameters? If y'all don't like that, if y'all are saying it's y'all doing us a favor to be monogamous, so we're also bending and compromising, and I believe relationship is about mutual compromise. Why can't you compromise and just cheat with boundaries? That seems like a deal.
Well, here's a better question. How about y'all just say the hell with relationships, the hell with marriage, the hell with the commitment, and let's just be friends with benefits, F boy, F girl. Make everybody happy, damn it. That's the best way to solve that problem. Y'all just friends with benefits. Y'all can do what y'all want and leave it at that. Shit.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with you. Thank you, Hustler. I'm going to bring up Mel because I see he's in the back. And
take care, Lucky. And by the way, before I go, I want to say cheers because we're all here for another glorious, happy New Year.
Hey, I know. Happy New Year's. I'm happy everybody made it. Actually, I just did something that I hate doing, putting the S on it. Happy New Year, because I don't know why we use the S. All right, let's go. What's up, Mel?
How you doing? Lucky? How you doing, Lucky?
I am good. How are you? What you want to add? What did you think of the conversation today? Do you agree, disagree?
Well, yeah, you got to stop using the term cheating when it comes to open relationships, polyamory. There's no cheating, because it will only be cheating if I made a promise to you and I break it. That is what actually cheating is. So if we came to an agreement and stuck by it, that is not cheating. So we got to stop using that term cheating so much interchangeably the way it is. So definitely. So I would say, little Q pill, definitely advice I could definitely give you. Always find your masculine identity.
I just want to say he is the relationship coach. I didn't want to set it up like he needed advice because he's supposed to be an expert. Okay, so what advice did he give you? I'm just
me? None. I'm already in the game already. You know that.
Because he said he got more women that in his inbox than Chris Brown concert. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No exaggeration.
Well, the game is always on the low too. Also too. And everything. So So always be less judgmental of women, because it's so funny how you got a lot of these guys that want to have all this casual sex, but worrying about a woman's body count and all that mess. But yet, you're trying to have casual sex. The only way you're going to have sex like that is with a woman that is actually technically have a I'm putting quotation, high body count from your standards, because she's the only type of girl that's going to be down to have casual sex with you like that and stuff. So it's crazy and stuff like that. But yeah, when I saw that video clip with that chick, I'm familiar with her. I would not even be in a relationship, poly or monogamy with her, because she runs it. Me, every relationship, I run that. Yeah. I am not being in a relationship with her with those standards. When you in an open relationship, you got to be, the only rules that you have is no diseases, no babies, and your safety. Either don't bring them home to your house where you know what I'm saying, conjugate, unless y'all both come to agreement. But other than that, yeah, you're safe. Those only 3 rules you should have. Other than that, you can't just have no set boundaries too much like that. Like, if you're going to engage in that, you have to go all out, period. You can't just have no rules talking about, yo, I want to be with multiple women. You can't be with multiple women dudes. No, because she's going to engage that. If you're going to go that far, you got to go all out, period. That is my advice, definitely, if you engage in that. So what I would say to Q, be honest with yourself for what you want, and stick to, and always be straight direct with your intentions, what you want with women, period. Which I know you probably already have. I don't know, but if you are, more power to you. But always be straight direct with women with your intentions, because you don't want to waste lot of time. You don't want to waste a lot of money, and you don't want none of these females to have come back at you with no plausible deniability or no drama. Because if they already know your intentions to begin with, you give them free will to say yay or nay. That's it.
Appreciate it, Mel.
Well, thank you, Mel, for calling in. You know, I always look forward to you calling in. Sometimes we agree, and I appreciate it every single time.
Y'all have a good night.
You too, bro.
All right. The voice of Venus in the building.
Hi. Quick question.
Yeah, ask your question.
Okay, so Q Pill, do you desire to be married at any point?
Yeah, it's still a desire of mine. Mm-hmm.
So, okay. When you laid out your standards, right? They seemed very high. And so I believe that a person is allowed to have any standards that they want, especially if you can meet them yourself, right? I think that's fair. But I wanted to know because a lot of times when I hear men talk this way, sometimes I think you do not actually want to settle down, which is fine. But is it like you have a hard time just saying that? So you kind of set it up where like, because the way you explained it was like a woman has to jump through so many hoops and bounds, and you were kind of like, if she gets a relationship out of me, best believe she earned it, right? Like you set it up like you're basically saying she's going to go through a lot just to get that from you. And sometimes I think that men do that because you make it so difficult because deep down inside you don't want to commit to one woman. Is that true?
No, that's not true. I basically just have adapted to the way that women are nowadays. So my intention when I do date intentionally. What will happen is the standard pattern is I'll date a woman, I'll vet her, and then when she starts to show signs that I can't commit to her or that I won't take her seriously, then I'll then let her know that I won't take her seriously. If she want to still kick it, we can still kick it, but I'm not committing. And until I meet a woman, so I'll basically just date other women. Like I'll move on to date other women and see if they have anything better to offer. But no, it's not a matter of actually wanting to not be single. I'm a relationship guy. I've always done relationships. I've always been in monogamous relationships. I've been in 4, with the longest being 3 years. But seeing how women move now, I just have to be a lot more cautious in the way that I proceed with them. And my vetting process is a lot more strenuous than it once was. I mean, my first couple relationships, I just jumped into the relationship without actually learning the woman, without actually knowing the woman. And I'm jumping in relationships like this girl gonna be my wife one day. I'm ready to give this woman everything. I'm ready, happy wife, happy life mentality type shit. But it never works out that way. So then, I just came to the realization that, well, women are moving a little different. I see what I don't want in women. So I have to take the time to actually learn and see if they demonstrate any of these things that would be conducive to an actual long-term relationship. And once I see things that I know are going to be problematic, knowing as a relationship coach and having studied psychology, what predicts what a relationship will fail, when I start to see those things and I start to see them things they're a little too prevalent, they happen a little too often within 3-4 months of dating the woman, then I realize that this is going to be a recurring problem, and this is ultimately going to be something that will be the end of our relationship if I do get into one. So I'd rather not just get into one from the jump, because I've already seen that this is going to cause us to break up eventually down the line.
Good answer. Can I ask one more question?
Yes, you.
Okay. Oh no, I didn't know if she's on a time thing or. Okay. I like that answer. Okay, that let me know you put some thought into it. It's not just I'm putting up these tough boundaries just to make it hard. There's actually like logic behind it. So I respect that. You spoke about 2 things I don't hear men speak on, which I thought was dope, right? Earlier you mentioned needing to feel safe. When I hear men talk, they never admit that the same way we have that as a requirement. When we try to express that, a lot of men play as if they don't even understand what we mean. So it was refreshing to hear a man even say, hey, I need to feel safe here too. I need to feel comfortable to be vulnerable around you. And I guess I want to know, like, why do men pretend as if they don't require that same level of comfort or safety in a relationship? Like, they kind of act as if they don't understand that women need it. And I wanted to hone in on it because it's a very big deal. I think if men understood it the way you did, a lot more relationships would last, but they kind of dismiss it. Like, what does this mean, feel safe? Like, that's a huge deal. So why do you think men avoid the whole thing?
I don't think they avoid it. I think it's the way they convey it. I think because women and men communicate in two different ways. So when a man says safe, the same way he talks about loyalty and respect, those are what he means. So when you hear men talking about respect, or you hear them talking about loyalty, and you hear them talking about, well, why they won't date a woman with a high body count, or this emotional trauma, or this, that, and the third, that is in the inverse of saying I want to feel safe. Like, that's another way of saying it. They just flip-flopped it to where they're not overtly stating I want to feel safe. They're saying what they value in women as respect and fidelity and loyalty. Those are the things that would make him feel more secure. They can't put it. Most men don't understand how to put it in a way to where it sounds
Where
really
women can
abstract and
understand.
emotional, and where it appeals to a woman's understanding of what he means when he says it. But they convey it in a way to where anytime you hear a man talking about him wanting respect and him wanting loyalty, that's what they mean, feeling safe. So if they feel like a woman would step on boundaries that disrespect him or emasculate him or cheat on him, that means they don't feel safe.
Okay, well, thank you. I think I'm done with my questions, child.
No problem.
He gave it to you, huh, Venus?
Yeah, have a good night.
And y'all should be going live later. You can shout your stuff out. Say what time.
I'm supposed to be live now, but this was too juicy, so.
Oh well,
You're
I
good.
got one caller, so.
You're good. No rush. Later, y'all.
All right.
All right. Reese from Philly. Probably can't see you. Hold on. Let's do it this way. All right.
What's up? I came up here to support your show.
Thank you. You always support. I definitely appreciate it. Were you listening to some clips? What questions do you have for him? What do you want to add to the conversation? What do you think of women in polygamy or men? You know, overall, what's your thought?
I saw the clip. Hold on, let me put his mic. I saw the clip. I love listening to people from his generation and yours. It's always entertaining, man. I'm an old fart, nigga. I don't look like one, but I promise you I am. This guy reminds me of my son a lot. So I wish I had some divine advice to tell you, because I don't. I kind of don't understand this new culture, but I've been exposed to it a lot. I'm a bartender and a barber, and have been for a long time, right? So I spent a lot of time with your people, even when you were 15 years old. So I watched you become what you are. You see what I'm saying? And it was fun to watch, but it was chaotic. Y'all, you're gonna hear a lot of niggas my age call y'all crazy and, you know, attack you for the way y'all move. But I'm gonna tell you something, we weren't that much different. A little bit different, not so much out in the open with the craziness, and a little bit more mild, but there was craziness there. So we don't have room to talk. Now moving forward, if I had a time machine that could go in it and go back to being 30 years old like you are, I would not do it. I would stay right the fuck here.
Yeah. I would go back.
I don't like y'all culture and the way things go. And I feel bad for you.
Well, damn.
To the 80s?
I think he's on a delay.
What did you say?
Nothing. I think you have a delay.
Oh, this is bullshit.
It's okay. It's okay. I think I got just of what you're saying. But thank you for calling in. You're kind of freezing, so I don't know if you still saying something. I don't want to be rude.
Could be the Wi-Fi signal.
Hey, good luck to you, man.
Thank you, brother. I
try to preserve yourself the best way you can. Stay as healthy
That's all I'm doing.
as you can, so you can stay relevant in the game as long as you can.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
All right. Did you have fun?
I did. This was an excellent discussion. I enjoyed the shit
It
out of it.
was better than the last one. I owed you a better one because we ain't got to talk about
Oh
it.
yeah, the last one was chaotic. Yeah, that turned into
I really tried, and you was right. You was right at the end of the day. You makes it more civil when it's this way. But I'm gonna end it with your clip. But I do want you to say whatever you want. Tell them where they could. Oh, we have a call that just popped in right at the cusp. I will take it because I have to. I have to. What's up, Sean? This is who we were talking about.
Cracking.
What's up, Sean?
Going on.
Man, I'm over here cooking. I'm like, hold on, man. This man, when you're in this space, bro, and you start talking about your experiences are like my experiences, but I never realized that they were atypical. And when you start telling these stories, sometimes you'll see people in the comments, they like, oh, it's cap, because they can't even understand being able to do what you do, being able to say, look, this is how I'm getting down. These are the standards. This is what it is. Take it or leave it. I don't give a shit if you say yes or no. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the night, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Just me hearing you and just knowing that walk. And I'm just like, man, it's good to see somebody else that can really be honest, that ain't got to lie. We can put it on the wood and it is what it is. Like, this is what it is this way. And then two, even hearing you talk about the vetting process, I guess I never realized before coming to YouTube that it's not common that we get so determined to get the pussy that it's just like, nigga, we zipping through everything. The vetting process, you know what I'm saying? We letting them rush the process. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we get the pussy and the pussy is good, rush the process. The process is a process. Ain't nobody speeding up your process, and I love hearing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, niggas, a lot of niggas are not judicious with their time, their resources, or with, like you said, their relationship status. And we have to be more judicious with that. And I love hearing you say that, man. Shout out. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you, brother. Thank you.
What did you think about this polyamory? Because we love Rhea here.
We love
And she put the boundaries. So Sean, player from the Himalayas, what would you say if a woman said, you know what, Sean, we can have this relationship, we could be married, but you can only sleep with her every third Thursday of the year. Of the month, excuse me. You can only take her, you can't go nowhere with her in public. You can't put your mouth on her. Like, what if there was boundaries, even though you can't really guys that once y'all get in the room, but you know what I'm saying? Would you feel like more men like yourself would be open to that? Or would it just be like, girl, let's just stay friends and I do what I'm gonna do?
I would say she's on drugs. I mean, like hard drugs. Real shit, though. At the end of the day, what we're really trying to get to is in life, some people depend on your status. In high school, there was niggas that was them niggas. In college, it's niggas that was them niggas. In the hood, it's niggas that's them niggas. In life, you can be one of them niggas. So you have to understand that you that nigga, and you got the leverage, and it's got to be bar none. You're not dictating shit to me, period. You're not dictating shit to me, shorty. Everybody else saw me pull up in this car. If I'm a nigga with a six pack, whatever, every other chick know I got that. If I got the bag, everybody else know I got that. I can replace you before I go to sleep at night. You're not dictating shit to me. So at the end of the day, as a woman, you better understand the situation and understand who has the leverage. And that's kind of how it goes.
Tough crowd.
I just came.
You know. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sean.
Be blessed, brother.
All right, y'all. Well, that was fun. I like to end it on that. But yeah, you were making a point. Did you make your point or whatever you want to say? Tell them what do you have, if you have something upcoming where they can follow you, if they want to have a counseling or anything, shout yourself out.
Yeah, y'all can follow me on my YouTube channel, the Q Pill, or you can follow me on IG, Twitter, both the Q Pill. Twitter is Q Pill, Q_Pill. Twitter, Instagram is the Q Pill. I have a book on Amazon called The Q Pill, An Overdose of Reality, The Remedy for a Cold World. It just explains the philosophy of the Q Pill and my 5 core components, which is stoicism, objectivity, metacognition, introspection, and accountability. And I give an in-depth philosophical overview of the human mind, how the brain works, how we end up in situations we end up in life, and how we can better adapt to situations that we can't control. The Q Pill's motto is acknowledge reality, accept reality. That's how you improve. That's how you adapt. That's how you evolve into a better human being. So you guys can do that. Also, if you want to schedule a session with me, you guys can shoot me an email from my Instagram. Just DM me. I'll respond. We get a session set up. Anything. I've dealt with over 500 clients. Like I said, everybody across the spectrum, regardless of culture, religion, married, unmarried, single, polygynous, polyamorous. I've dealt with them all. I've coached them all. So, yeah. And I just appreciate you having me on here, Lucky. It was a fun conversation.
Like always, I'm really hoping that, you kind of get warmed up to when I have all the ladies and you're the only guy. I want to see how strong you are. But thank you so much for coming through. Y'all follow him. I will put a lot of all his information and his handles in the description if you guys want to check him out and share this. Thank you guys. We are going to end it with
complaining about this irrational and illusory sexual double standard. There's no fucking sexual double standard. There can't be. How can it be? When the standards that a woman has to meet for a man to sleep with her versus the standards that a man has to meet for a woman to sleep with him are different. When the standard of susceptibility to STIs between men and women are different. The standard risk of pregnancy for a man versus the standard risk of pregnancy for a woman. Different. The standard degree of parental investment for a man versus for a woman. Different. The standard number of reproductive opportunities women are offered versus the amount that they actually accept versus men. Different. The standard amount of sexual disgust that women experience versus men. Different. The standard level of sexual regret that women experience versus men. Different. The standard amount of times that men orgasm during sex versus the standard amount of times that women orgasm during sex. Extremely different. The standard amount of oxytocin released by women versus men. Different. The standard levels of emotional attachment in women versus men. Different. Every standard variable in sexual behavior between men and women is different. So where the fuck is the double standard? There isn't one.